Carl?
Yes?
What time is it?
It's 2 p.m. in the afternoon, Monfrere.
Why do you have a bottle of rum?
Because this is the last thing we need to do today. My life's sick awesome. Hulk Hogan is a pretty larger-than-life character, as evidenced by the fact he spent the last 4 decades decked in a yellow bandana just leg-dropping people from the upper stratosphere. Weirdly though, Hogan, or at least Terry Bollea, the man who plays him, is so committed to maintaining this facade, he has once argued in open court that the character he plays has a bigger penis than he does.
So Hulk Hogan's real name obviously isn't Hulk Hogan, it's what you just said.
It's Terry Bollea, yes.
Why does he not wrestle under Terry Bollea?
Because Hulk Hogan sounds way fucking cooler than Terry Bollea, and there's almost no wrestler in the world that wrestles under their real name. One of the few that I know is John Cena, whose actual real name is John Cena, and he often jokes about that fact. People ask him, so you wrestle as John Cena, and what's your name? It's John Cena. Really? Really? If I pick my name, I'll be wrestling under Lance Hammerbush or something like that, which I think is fucking brilliant.
Isn't Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson also an example of someone who's kept their name?
Dwayne Johnson's his real name, but he wrestled as The Rock, and before that, I think under his father's name, but he wasn't very popular, so he basically turned himself into an asshole. Which is great. I think like The Undertaker isn't really called The Undertaker.
Well, he's not Mr. Undertaker.
He's not Mr. Undertaker. The only
they do call him Mr. Taker though, don't they?
The only wrestler I know of who did that was Ultimate Warrior, who legally changed his name to Warrior. So everyone had to call him Warrior in real life. He's one of the few ones I know who's so committed to his gimmick. But the point is, very few wrestlers wrestle under their real name, Hulk Hogan included.
Right, so what even is this story?
Well, the idea is that Hulk Hogan, or Terry Bollea, has argued in open court that the two distinct personalities he has while being Hulk Hogan and while being Terry Bollea are so different that they count as different people, and therefore things he says as Hulk Hogan shouldn't count when he's Terry Bollea. For example, the size of Hulk Hogan's penis, which I'm thinking is the part that you're getting confused about and want to get into.
Yeah, I'm getting to.
Get into the meat of the article, shall we?
Yeah, it just sounds so weird.
It does, and that's why you have to understand that in the world of wrestling, kayfabe, which is basically just the idea of pretending that everything you see is real, is so deeply ingrained in the culture. There are stories about wrestlers refusing to break character so much they've been arrested and things like that. I think Triple H once had his entire fucking quadricep explode off his leg and continued wrestling because his character doesn't show pain, or you're supposed to win that match. So it's insane. There are so many examples of shit like that because wrestlers take it that seriously. And to bring it back to Hulk Hogan, he's taken the idea to its logical extreme in that Hulk Hogan is a distinct, different personality to the one he has at home.
So before we go into this apparent argument that they've got different sized penises,
yes.
Why is Hulk Hogan in court?
That was because in 2010, the website Gawker released a sex tape starring Hulk Hogan or Terry Bollea, and then Hogan responded by suing the ever-loving shit out of them, and he eventually won that court case, which I'm mentioning because when he won that court case, the official Hulk Hogan Twitter account tweeted out this image of Hulk Hogan leg dropping the Gawker logo, which is fucking awesome, and he was awarded $100 million for the invasion of his privacy.
Jesus.
I'm not sure how much that money he got, but I just think that's funny.
Yeah.
That he responded you know what, I'm going to tweet out me his leg dropping their logo, get fucked Gawker.
So people aren't going to be here to listen to the nitty-gritty of a full court case?
No, so let's just simplify it a bit. It's that Terry Bollea sued Gawker because he said that they were invading his privacy by releasing the tape. And they argued that Hulk Hogan, the character he plays, is a public figure, and it's in the public interest. And the argument was, is Terry Bollea a distinct entity to Hulk Hogan, and therefore does he deserve the same level of privacy as an average citizen? Which obviously ended up being decided in Bollea's favour, hence this fucking image.
So where does the penis come into this?
That's the question I was waiting for, Brad. Well, the penis comes in because obviously this is a court case about a sex tape, and as you can imagine, a lot of salacious details were revealed during it. And Gawker, seemingly in an attempt just to embarrass Bollea, Hogan, brought up the fact that in numerous interviews he has bragged about having a 10-inch long penis. And they said that in the tape you can clearly see that you don't have a 10-inch penis. What gives? And Bollea's actual defense was that those statements were made in character as Hulk Hogan. So Hulk Hogan has a 10-inch long penis, according to Terry Bollea, the guy who plays him.
I get that he might have a character that's bragging a bit more about the size of his wang.
Yes.
That's a fixed length. Surely a court case.
It doesn't matter, because obviously he's a fictional character who he plays. He can say whatever the fuck he wants about him. Hulk Hogan is also Mr. America. Like, Terry Bollea is not Mr. America. Terry Bollea can't, like, you know, get knocked the fuck out 3 times and bring himself back to life via the power of America. Hulk Hogan can, though, because he's a fictional character with nebulously defined super wrestling powers. And what Bollea's legal team was arguing is that all, like, brags made in character as Hulk Hogan shouldn't count for Terry Bollea. And what happened was the Gawker lawyer, in seemingly an attempt to embarrass him, said, "Well, Mr. Bollea, do you have a 10-inch penis?" He says, "No, I don't, but Hulk Hogan does." Which is fucking brilliant. Which I love. What an argument. It's like, no, I don't have one, but the character I play does.
I guess, like, if you think about the idea of actors playing a fictional character in a film, you would never expect certain traits to match. Like,
well, Robert Downey Jr. doesn't have an Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
Chris Evans is not a super soldier, and that's the argument. And obviously, Hulk Hogan's argument was, like, this is no different than me playing a character in a TV show or a movie. It's just that I have to be in character almost all of the time due to the nature of how wrestling works. And obviously that included bragging about having this giant fucking world-destroying penis. And the best bit is the courts bought it. They say, that's fine. This is fine. Hulk Hogan and Terry Bollea can have different sized penises. They are distinct entities. It doesn't fucking matter.
So now the title makes sense. Hulk Hogan has a bigger penis
than Hulk Hogan, the guy who plays Hulk Hogan, which is fucking brilliant. Think about it, and it worked. And it sounds stupid, but think about it the way, like, John Cena can turn invisible by putting his hand in front of his face. John Cena, the man, cannot do that as far as we're aware.
I bet he can.
He probably can, but he don't want to unleash that power. Think about that. Like, Kane, the wrestler, can summon fire and lightning bolts in the ring. Glenn Jacobs, the man who plays him, cannot. And the argument was that bragging about the size of the penis is no different to those actions. And the courts thought, you know what? Yeah, it makes sense. Hulk Hogan can brag about having as big a dick as he wants. It doesn't matter. That doesn't change the fact that Terry Bollea, the man, is entitled to his fucking privacy. Because Hulk Hogan is a larger-than-life character who's supposed to be out there, like, you know, interacting with people in the public eye. Terry Bollea has no obligation to do that. And therefore, like, his sex tape, it should not be public knowledge because it is of no concern to anybody.
Yeah, the sex tape is Terry Bollea's sex tape.
Yeah, not Hulk Hogan's. And that was the argument. Yeah, if it had been Hulk Hogan's sex tape, it'd be different.
I'd love it if they had it playing in the background and he was there saying, like, this is not Hulk Hogan's. And you just heard him going, "Call me Hulk! Call me Hulk!"
Have you heard as well that for many, many years, the WWF had to pay royalties to Marvel? Because they initially billed Hulk Hogan as the Incredible Hulk Hogan, and they eventually dropped that part of his title, but still had to pay Marvel royalties. And the lawyer came out after the fact and said, if they'd just called him Hulk Hogan from the start, there'd have been no issue. But because they billed him originally as the Incredible Hulk Hogan, they had to pay us money. And apparently WWF and Vince McMahon was super salty about that.
I mean, Vince McMahon's probably super salty about a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
He seems like the salty kind.
Oh, yes. But then again, he also fucking commits. Like, do you know many 60, 70-year-old men who tell their staff to headbutt them on national TV? I think fucking not. Do you know what I respect most, though, about Vince McMahon?
What?
It's the fucking gorilla walk, the swag walk. Have you seen it? You're going to put a clip in.
Of course I've seen it.
He walks like that into the... He walks like a video game character. And apparently, so many people complained about him doing it. Like,
Why would you complain about a walk?
Fans said it looks stupid, it's embarrassing, he makes you look like a dickhead, and he found out and started doing it more. It's like, no, what, fuck it, every time I walk in, and that's why it's so exaggerated now. Just Vince McMahon, just ultimo swag walk.
That's got to be one of the pettiest and yet most amazing things I've heard. The fact that you would exaggerate a swag walk just to annoy the few people who were like, that's shit.
Yeah, no, it's because it makes him look like an arsehole. Yeah. But the idea is Mr. McMahon, the character, is an arsehole.
And the character himself is probably doing that walk on purpose as well.
To piss people off. Yeah, it's an overly exaggerated, confident swagger. Even though, you know, like Mr. McMahon is a dickhead coward who gets other people fights battles. God, wrestling's stupid. But, oh man, just fucking swagger walk.
You could say whatever you wanted.
In character,
do whatever
yes.
you wanted in character. Could you commit a murder
no,
in character?
There are limits, but like I said, there are examples of wrestlers getting away with certain things by saying they're in character. You can't get away with crimes, but there is a certain leniency afforded to them, like due to the nature of their work. I think one was, like I said, there was 2 wrestlers who got arrested, and it's because they refused to say their name, because their characters didn't speak. And an example similar to that is men who play Ronald McDonald, which we've talked about before, and if people don't know, I didn't watch that video, there's a link below, hopefully, right now, as I'm talking. Men in character as Ronald McDonald aren't allowed to identify themselves as anything other than Ronald McDonald, because McDonald's maintains that they are Ronald McDonald. And there are numerous cases out there of men dressed as Ronald McDonald, like running red lights or like getting into altercations with people, getting arrested. Who are you? I'm Ronald McDonald.
How amazing would it be if you dress as Ronald, ran a red light, and they're like, Mr. McDonald, that's 3 points this week. That's next. It's like, turns out that more people have done it, and he's got his own record.
Oh, man. But that's the thing that happens, and apparently McDonald's, obviously, you immediately get fired because they don't want Ronald McDonald arrested for speeding in the news, but the men who play him are so committed to that role, they will refuse to identify themselves as anybody else but Ronald. So potentially there are unsolved crimes out there committed by a man identified only as Ronald McFucking-Donald.
But the idea that a court case can rule that two people are distinct like that,
No, it is, yeah.
there must be, like, say you committed a crime as your character.
I don't think if it was a crime, like, this is a civil case, because this is obviously like a right to privacy. This isn't he committed a murder in character as Hulk Hogan, because that would be very different. It's like, well, no, there are limits to what we're expected to believe as a character is supposed to play.
What if you were getting a divorce, and part of the way, let's say your wife's argument was, you had affairs, and you say, no, I didn't have affairs, my character did.
That might work.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's tried that, but we don't know. Obviously, as evidenced by the Hulk Hogan case, you can argue.
It's such a strange precedent.
It sounds weird, but wrestling is its own weird, distinct beast. Because think about how many people would likely get done for assault for the shit they do in the ring. Because it's not technically organised fight; it's organised as entertainment.
Yeah.
And there's like there's a weird like legal like grey area about what exactly they are allowed to do to one another and to what level they are held responsible if someone gets injured or fucking killed. And I don't know the full details of it. It's fascinating to me that it resulted in Hulk Hogan arguing in court that the character I play on TV has a bigger penis than I do. And the courts went, fucking well played, mate. Done. $100 million to that guy right now.
But to take that to its logical extreme, what could you argue that your character was taller?
Maybe. Well, think so many wrestlers are billed as taller than they are. Yeah. Like, I think Kane is being consistently billed as being like 7 foot tall, even though Glenn Jacobs, I think, is much shorter than that. Andre the Giant was consistently billed as being taller than he was, and they would put smaller wrestlers against him to make him look even bigger. Yeah. That happens. So that's a real thing that they do. A lot of wrestlers are billed as being taller than they are, and obviously the person who plays them isn't that tall, but kayfabe, they are that tall.
See, I always used to be really insecure about the fact that I'm 5'7", like, because obviously I know it's not super short, but it's shorter than most. But then you don't realise that most of the people that you see on television or in films and stuff are nowhere near the height that they're portrayed as.
Well, Tom Cruise being the best example.
Tom Cruise is the famous example.
Tom Cruise is 5'7".
Yeah. But
he looks the same height as Ving Rhames, who is 6'2" in all of the Mission Impossible movies.
It's like Schwarzenegger. Is he 6'1"?
There's been an argument for years about how tall Schwarzenegger is, because he was billed as like 6'3", 6'4".
He was 6'3" in one of the Terminator films.
Yeah.
When he was on a height.
They bill him as that. It's really weird. There's another movie recently where I watched it with Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
It's called like Attack on. I forget the name of it. It's like a Netflix movie, and he's playing a boxer, and his character is supposed to be 6'8", and Vince Vaughn
is not
exactly what his character is. And how is that any different?
6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, how is that any different?
Yeah, but obviously I'm more comfortable now on my height, because like when you meet people, it's like, oh, everybody isn't enormous. Like, you're taller than me, but you're not giant compared to me.
I am. I've got, you know what? Karl Smallwood from Fact Fiend has got a 12-inch penis. Karl Smallwood, the man, has a 13-inch one.
Oh man, we could do that. The guy behind the camera, Brad. Well,
yeah, Brad, he's 9 foot tall. Who gives a shit?
I'm 9 foot tall.
You know what? You know what? This is the end of the video. Let's just make up lies about our virtual selves. Let's do it right now. Okay.
I'm 9 foot tall, but I've got a 1-inch penis.
Okay. Yeah.
It looks really. But my balls are like 2 feet long. Like,
okay.
Hanging down.
Is that really the image you want? Because that's going to get fan art, mate.
To be honest,
do you want that?
That'll be hilarious. Imagine a drawing of a 9 foot guy. With just like this tiny little like maggot down the bottom, with the balls hanging down like fucking Randy Marsh.
Oh god, it's the bird's nest. The bird's nest with a fucking quail egg in it. That's what you don't need. Go on, what lies can we tell about me?
Oh my god, I only just got that.
What?
Well, you said that in a previous video, and I imagined a literal bird's nest, the literal egg.
No, the bird's nest. It's like it's peeking out. It's fine. So what lies can we tell about ourselves then? It's like, what can Karl Smallwood of Fact Fiend be different from me? So I want to say, you know what, Karl Smallwood from Fact Fiend is an alcoholic. Yeah. But in real life, I just like booze. Because we get so many comments saying, "Oh, Karl's an alcoholic."
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not. I just like drinking, which sounds like an alcoholic, but Brad knows I'm not.
Brad and Karl on camera, we get along. We talk about us being friends.
No, we hate each other.
In real life, absolute hatred. Like the second that I press record, Karl walks over and beats me.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm not allowed on camera because I'm covered in bruises.
No, don't start that. Yeah. Karl Smallwood, he's an alcoholic assault man.
He throws his glass at me.
I've never thrown this guy. It's got Gawker on it.
That's why when people are like, "Oh, upload the full uncut one," it's like we can't because every time a take stops, he's like, "You know, you laughed at the wrong fucking part. You interrupted me."
As soon as the camera cuts, the vicious beating begins.
We have to keep replacing equipment because Karl picks up the camera by the tripod and just hooks me across the room.
Oh man, it's like a bit in The Simpsons, isn't it? Like, please vote for my dad, otherwise he'll beat us. It's like, no, I'd never do that. And then he whispers into the mic, like, when we get home, we're going to get such a beating. So good. So thanks for that, Brad. So, yeah.
That's why he's got a new editor because he's worried he's going to kill me on one of the shoots.
If I run out, he's going to beat the editors. Oh, God, don't start this rumour. You know you just started now? New shit we've got to deal with in the comments. Thanks for that.
And on Twitter, stop beating your editors. You'll get that joke's really old now.
Yeah.
That joke, like in about 3 or 4 months' time, when someone sends you another one saying, "Oh, I noticed Brad wasn't laughing as much in this video. Were you beating him?"
There's another joke. I'll get you banned on my Twitch. Follow me on Twitch, by the way. I'm real fun.
You know which one died? What time are we on? 22. I'll probably cut this bit out. You know which one died? The Yes Brad one. It recently came back with somebody was like, "I've just been binge watching all your videos. Yes, Brad. Ha ha, people from earlier comments will get this."
What fucking Sadak said that? That's
So someone watched all the old videos and thought, you know what, I'll bring a joke back from an older video.
Because they love that.
Yeah, and then comment as if to say to all the other, "Oh, you guys remember this one?"
You remember that one we don't say anymore? Because you know what? I'd rather write new jokes than repeat old ones.
Yeah.
Because that's what a comedian does and not a loser. Get fucked, every other YouTuber. I write new jokes and new things. I improvise everything because I'm that fucking good.
Apart from the bits you read off the article. Then again, most of them
I wrote those.
Yeah. We don't like we used to. You used to do a read through of each paragraph, and then we talk about it. Now what happens is you read out the first paragraph paraphrased, and then just say, "Oh, Brad, just ask me this question so I can talk about this bit."
Improvise.
Like if you go through this video now and go through the original article, none of it will match.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you do things in the wrong order.
That fucking good. Right, let's roll.
Let's do this.